Right. Okay, we're gonna do a bit of analysis of the replay of the game that we had yesterday. Um, okay, let's see, yeah. Today is Christmas Day, and I played the game yesterday, and I just wanna check it out and maybe just see how it went and what can be improved upon. Oh, okay, so what's this one? I played against the medium difficulty computer. It's 1v1 under the map mud fight. There's no way for me to boost up this, to use the scroll here. Okay, it goes away. I see that there's a recon unit together with a tank and a squad of anti-tank over here. And on this side, it's led by a recon unit together with this anti-aircraft, the BTR-152 TCM. And the computer side is charging down as it usually does. I mean, it leads forward with this vehicle, what do you call that? Infantry vehicle. Rushing down, and the recon unit is probably going to pick up soon. It saw the enemy, and does the enemy see me? The enemy does not see me, but because I have a recon, I get sight of it first. So there is first blood. So somehow the computer decides to bring along some AA guns. So the way I see it is that because upon on deployment, I did buy a stock of air-to-ground aircraft, and I think the AI kind of cheats, and he knows that I have such an aircraft, and so it got ready. It brought along some AA guns. So what could be improved upon is when I play the game, I should not buy an anti-aircraft gun at the beginning, but I wait until it comes to this moment around the 1 minute mark before I get purchase an a air to ground aircraft, so that the computer cannot cannot kind of preempt me using an aircraft and bring along the anti-aircraft gun. This this formation here is rather precarious, and it seems like the computer is able to see that I have this all bunched up, which is indeed very precarious. And if the enemy brought along artillery, or if the enemy brought along anti-ground aircraft, I mean, he could certainly cause a whole lot of disaster over at this area. So I'm just thinking to myself that, if I see something like that, it might be helpful if I did like have an artillery for myself. Maybe just one would be good enough. And yeah, I do have some mortar here, the mud, and they do have some. Let's see, how do I have this on? Well, they do have some ability to clear out infantries like station. I don't know. I mean, like, let's say if I use my mortar and I did shoot down this infantry in the building. Really kill the infantry in the building. So I think I could have used the mortar on the infantry. Oh, I didn't get to see there, but so it seems like a lot of my tank gets picked off. Alright, so I'm just thinking to myself, maybe it'd be better if I kind of use a certain method. Like, you know, you need a recon unit right up there to spot his tank coming down. And then you use a smoke tactic where you lay down a line of smoke and then you rush your tanks. And these tanks are usually of the cheaper variety. You rush them through the smoke when the enemy tank is like close by, and they will pick off. They will start shooting their shot at the enemy's main tank and kill him. What I do realize is that there seems to be an overkill when it comes to shooting down enemies, and it seems like you know, there are too many tanks aiming for the same target, and maybe it would be better if I could manually select the tanks, maybe just 2 of them at once, and have them fire. And if I could get the others to maybe hold on their firing, like if I could just switch it off. I'm not sure what's the hotkey there to switch off the firing. You know, I gotta figure it out. Then maybe I can turn off the firing for the rest of them, have the first 2 fire, and then once the enemy is dead, I can re-enable the firing for the rest. And when it comes to shooting the tanks, the enemy tanks that come along the way, I could assign each of the tanks to, you know, take out 1 of each enemy. Maybe I assign like 2 tanks to take out 1 enemy tank, 1 different enemy tank, you know. So the first 2 take out the first one, the second 2 take out the second one, and that way, you know, they don't, what do you call that? They do not waste their ammunition just targeting the one at the front. You see, the enemy just comes with so many tanks. Even though I had just taken out a majority of his tanks before, but it seems like when you play against the AI, just able to mass tanks after tanks. And so when I play with, let's say, a destroy point criteria, whereby once you meet 3000 you win the game, it actually helps me if the enemy is sending so many tanks into my way and getting them killed. Enemy has also brought in a Buratino. Right. Lost a lot of tank at a certain point of time. You know that part where you had an enemy main battle tank moving through this road, and there were like a few infantry up front, and then all my tanks, like I think of two of them, were aiming the infantry unit that had just one infantry and wasting their shell. So it'll be useful if I manually selected those tanks and asked them to aim for the enemy tank rather than waste their targeting on the infantry unit. And I think that's also a possible tactic to use, having another tank to soak up the enemy's damage before you move in with your own smaller tanks to kill the enemy. So maybe I could have the smaller tank stationed somewhere here in a straight line with a recon unit nearby, and I have the main battle tank here. And so when the enemy moves through, they would try to attack the main battle tank, and then I would ask my mortar to lay down a line of smoke here and have the smaller battle tanks move up front, pierce through the smoke, and take shot from the side of the enemy rushing through this lane. It seemed to me that there's this enemy command center here, but it's guarded by anti-aircraft, so it's not so easy to take it out unless I send in a battle tank, and maybe I could accompany it with a recon vehicle so that it's able to see further. You can see somehow they're able to see my tank and move out, even though when I look at the replay, technically the computer should not be able to see my tank that's moving through and thereby avoid getting attacked. So that's it. I mean, that is the analysis. So I'm just going to review this to see what I can hear from the recording. Okay. Thank you and peace out.